Alright, YouTube, Nate Dunn back again, Mississippi Ranches. So today we have a pretty unique one here. So it's not gonna be no, well, I ain't gonna say no body work or nothing like that there, but this could be my segment of Pimp Your Ride. So we need to see how can we make this Maxima here look good enough for a 16-year-old girl. I think she's 16. I think she is. So we're going to just see what we can do here. I'm thinking, first of all, they won't tint regardless. I know they won't tint because she said it looks like a fishbowl. So we're going to put some tint on it. Next thing, I think I'm going to do my tradition, which is paint the rims. Let's do them gloss black. And then I'm going to do my other signature, what I used to do back in the day, which is smoke the tail lights. We're not going to smoke them. We're not going to black them out there. Not like super black there. We want her to still be legal. But just give it just a touch of black. Just kind of knock the red off a little bit. So that way make sure it's still safe and you can still see. But at the same time, it kind of gives like a black cherry look. That's the look I always like to go for, is that black cherry look. I always think that looks the best because that way it's still got the red, but it's like a dark, kind of like a dark cherry, black cherry. That's pretty much what I call it. So without further ado, I think we might have ourselves an agenda or a little checklist here: tint, wheels, and tail lights. And then if we want to go even further, I don't know if we want to do exhaust work. I don't know if 16-year-old girls, I don't know much about them, especially nowadays. They're different than when I was 16. Even then, I still didn't know much about them then. But, nah. Man. We'll go ahead and get the wheels, get the tint. And I'm thinking for the windshield, I need to see. I'm not going to tint this whole windshield because I still want her to see at nighttime. But we're going to give her that desired dark look where it's kind of, like I said, with the side tint on the side windows there, it's going to be dark like she likes it there. And at the same time, she should be able to still see. So if I put that brow there, that's going to give it that little effect where it will hide her. The only thing they might see is just a little hands just on the steering wheel. Maybe. Because like I said, we don't have them bright headlights in here on this car anyway. So that's why I said I'm not going to tint the whole windshield. I'm just going to go ahead and just do the brow. And that should be good enough right there. I already like what it's got going on right here. It's got this little spoiler thing here. So that's a plus. And I'm going to be careful with that because I'm glad I'm not doing anything with that because them things always break. But till then, enough talking. Let's get to pimping. So right here, all you do is just literally just get some Scotch Brights and just go ahead and scuff the rims up real nice. That's all I'm doing, just scuffing them up nice. And so on and so forth. And in a minute, I'm finna do something here. Y'all probably gonna wonder, what am I doing? But I'll explain that later on in the video. Watch. You'll see what I'm talking about. So I'll explain that later on in the video, but till then, let's get back to work. My old playing card trick there, so it works like a charm. Tape up the side walls and you good to go. You ain't get no paint on them walls there, and I didn't have to bust the bead down, so that's gonna save me a bunch of time. So till then, I'm just still dialing in my gun She's finna have some nice glossy rims very shortly. This is where it pays off to actually know your gun. So you're gonna have to set this gun up. Set it up and play with it there, cause you can't leave that gun on one setting and expect to have good results. You gotta know your gun. Just nice, easy, and simple here. Single stage black, just pretty much one shot and go. Well, I think I did 2 coats. Just smooth it out. But it gets no easier than this. And next, what I'm gonna do is the clear coat. So I'm gonna show you how to mix up the clear coat tint. So you're gonna see in a minute. Just mix the clear coat up as normal. Just mix it 3 to 1. Then you put a dab of black in it, and that way you can tint your taillights like that. Now what I did off camera was I added a little more black. So if you see right here, it don't look as black right now. But the key to this tail light tint though is you want to use as little material as possible. Less material, high pressure. That way you got nice thin coats. You have to put several coats on there to get the desired tint you want. So it's off camera that I wind up putting just a little bit more black in there so that way I can go ahead and get my desired darkness. Otherwise I'm gonna be there all day long. But next, here comes the window tint here. So main thing what I'm doing is just making sure the window is nice and clean. Just make sure it's clean first before you do anything. So right here next, what I'm gonna explain is the tint. So I'm going ahead and laying it over the window, letting that baby shampoo be my glue to keep it up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out next, like pretty much just cut the shape of the glass. And this is where all the work of that tint is gonna be. You're gonna want to spend time shrinking that tint. So right now all I'm doing is just kind of cutting it out, making sure it's nice and pretty much the shape of the window. And then I'm gonna work on shrinking the tint afterwards. And then we'll go on from there. You see I got the little, what you call that thing now? I can't think of it right now. I'm using it as a guide for my razor, so that way I don't cut too much off. Now here's the most important part of this tent job here. You need to shrink that tent. So that's what I'm doing. It's a heat gun and it's a spreader. That's what it is. Or it's not a squeegee. Well, yeah, somewhat of a squeegee card. But this is the most important part. Take your time and just get those fingers out of that tent there and shrink that tent to the window. How I kind of like to look at it is kind of look at it like a cross. So, or better yet, that's for the back glass, but you can look at it like two divisions. You got the upper part and the bottom part. So I just tackle the bottom part first, and then I will go ahead and do the top part next. Now comes the most important part of this here, the reason why you saw me doing all that heat shrinking and stuff there. This just makes my job a whole lot more easier as far as applying the tint. So now I'm just putting the tint in there, just kind of cutting it, just kind of trimming a little bit more off the bottom. And so it just makes my job a whole lot more easier. You actually start to see it a lot more on the bigger window there. You'll see what I'm talking about. Versus you got some people, if they don't shrink that tint, they're going to struggle with it and it's not going to lay down like they want it to. But that's just going to be the main thing. That's the time consuming part of this tint work, is you're going to have to shrink it. You're going to have to shrink and shape it to the shape of that window there, and that way it's just going to lay down effortlessly. But that back glass is probably going to be the one that's the most challenging. But just take your time and just think of it as different divisions. You got an upper division and you got a lower division. So just tackle it like that and eventually you'll tackle the whole thing. Make sure you keep that tint and that window lubricated with that baby shampoo and water. Just make sure you keep that. That's going to help you out. That's going to help apply it a lot easier. So just keep it lubricated. Man, that looks nice. It's coming along really, really good. And then the beautiful part is the wheels are nice and dry too now. But we'll get back to those in a minute. I'm gonna let them just sit a little while longer. But I'll get back to those. And then here's the tail light tint. That's the desired look I want there. And so now y'all see what I'm talking about. They look so beautiful. Like a black cherryade. But here goes the hard part here. The back glass. So like I said before, just think of it as upper division and lower division. And if anything else, you can think of it like a cross and just do it in 4 divisions. So just do like the upper right division, lower right division, upper left division, lower left division. Just do it like that. If you want to break it into them little sections like that. And then this back glass is going to require a very special tool that I remember I had to buy whenever I got deep into this tin stuff. Like I said, I did my research and all that stuff. I got into it deep. It's going to be a tool called the bulldozer. You're going to see in a minute what I mean by the bulldozer, because I'm doing a full rear window tint, not them little tint strips. It's going to be the full window full window tint. Main thing is shrink that glass so good to where it actually like it's tint laying on there. That's the way you want it to look. So shrink it to where it's almost looking like the tint's on there, so that way it's gonna lay on there perfect. So now that's the bulldozer on the seat right there. So I just make sure that thing stay lubricated, the window and the tint itself, and just bring it on inside. Man, I had to fight with this here for a while, but you'll see in a minute what that bulldozer is gonna do. You'll see why it's so special and it's so needed on this job. I forgot how hard it is to fight these back glasses, especially on these Maximas here too, because they got a real deep curve. You don't notice it or don't see it until you do it. But you see what I'm doing now. So I'm getting behind that third brake light with that bulldozer. So, like I said, I know y'all probably remember me whenever I did the chapstick or the Carmex trick there. So now you can see why we did this here. So you remember it was kind of chrome, kind of looking around there. Take a fingernail and voila, boom, you got your chrome back. So with that Carmex and all that stuff, it's not going to want to stick. Even if you heat it up and all that stuff for it to dry, that paint is going to stick to that Carmex, and you can pretty much just chip this away till you finally get your chrome finish again. This is an old school trick just to save you time from having to sit there and mask it up and all that stuff there, because it would have took forever and a day to mask this up here. And then you wanted something too to where it didn't really mess with the paint that much either. So petroleum jelly, Vaseline grease, talking about of that nature there. And Carmex, that's another thing you can use. Just kind of just smear it on there a little bit. Just make sure you don't get it on the outside layer of it. And if you do, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, because obviously you can see, I just try to chip that away a little bit, wipe it away a little bit, and you're good to go. But at least the main thing is you got the chrome part at least covered real nice with the Carmex. So that way you can just literally just take your fingernail effortlessly, scrape the paint away, back to a nice chrome, OE looking finish. Cars with Nissan, like Nissan black rims and all that stuff, it's something that looks OE now, and we didn't have to buy emblem here. So that's the beauty part about this. So that's a top tip right there. That's a top tip there. Just an old school trick. And just keep on chipping. Keep on chipping. All right, YouTube. So that's it. This is a Mississippi version of Pimp My Ride. I get a chance to be exhibit, I guess, just minus the hair. So, like I said, just show y'all what we can do in a weekend or so. So first thing first, we wound up painting the wheels, just got rid of the alloy look. Just gave it some nice glossy black rims, give it a nice aggressive look. And if you look in here closer, we got the calipers as well too. So the calipers, I could either went red or yellow, but I've seen so many people that had red and all that stuff, so I said, you know what, let's be different. So I wound up being yellow. And so that was with the rims, and then you saw my little trick to keep the chrome in that little insert. So that's the wheels there. The next thing is all around the car, we wind up doing 20% tint. The eyebrow was a last minute addition because to be honest with you, I didn't feel comfortable tinting the windshield because I haven't tinted nothing in 5 years. So it's, like I said, I think we made it through pretty decent there. I was a little rusty, but it's all good. We made it through. But wind up doing 20% all around. And then the tail lights. So y'all notice it looks a little darker. So I had a 2003 Infiniti, and my trademark on that car was the tail lights. A lot of people saw those. Okay. But anyway, I digress on that. But the tail lights was like a black cherry. Tail lights was like a black cherry, so it still had showed some of the red, but it was kind of black a little bit though. So one, it stayed legal, and two, it looked pretty cool. So it's a win-win situation for us here. So I gave her the trademark black cherry tail lights. That's what I call it. And yeah, it's a fun car. I hope she really likes the car there because I like the car. It reminds me so much of my Infiniti there. And like I said, I hope she just drives the mess out of this car. Just have fun with it. And she gets older, she buy another Maxima that's a little bit newer and drive the mess out of it. Hopefully they're not all electric by then. And hopefully they still got a pretty hopped up motor in it. But like I said though, this is just Mississippi's edition of Pimp My Ride. Show you what you can do in a weekend at least. And I like it. Like I said, in the future, yeah, I will have a couple more of these little segments here, just certain vehicles here and there, just a little content here and there. If y'all like this content, I'll bring more of the Pimp My Ride additions to this channel. But till then though, my motto, like, comment, subscribe, please share the video. I really appreciate your support. Until then, stay busy, have fun with it. She's officially been pimped.